Hi, this is Brett Ingram, award-winning entrepreneur and digital marketer. And today, I want to share with you how to triple your online sales using sales funnels. So selling anything online is both better and worse than other sales methods. It has some real advantages, but it also has some drawbacks. So one of the things if we look at the negative side of online sales is that we don't have a real-time connection with our prospects, right? So if we have a store and they walk into our store, then it's very easy to interact with the customer. We can sort of do all the nonverbal stuff, build a connection, build trust, and help make sales. When we're online, we don't really have that luxury. We may be able to use AI, or we might have some staff member or whatever sort of manning a chat bot or whatever else. But the fact is, we don't really have a real-time connection with the prospects. It's certainly just through a computer screen. Another negative is that we have, because of that, a limited ability to answer questions and resolve issues. So even if we offer an online chat bot or somebody who's waiting and sends a little pop-up message, hey, I see you're browsing our site, is there some question I can answer? We're reliant on them to actually ask the question. We're also reliant on them to want to take the effort to bother to write out the question they want to ask. And that might seem simple, but if you think about that, if you're in a store and somebody comes up to you, it's a lot easier because you can just articulate it by speaking to them and say it a lot faster. Especially if it's something complex, you're not likely to want to type that into a chat box. So because we have the limited ability to answer questions, resolve issues and objections, it's again more difficult to sell online. So ultimately, it's harder to establish trust. And those are some of the negatives. Of course, on the positive side, there are a bunch of positives also. For one, we're open 24/7. One of the great things about having anything online and offering any digital sales is that we aren't limited to store opening or physical presence, hours or anything else. We don't have to have a human manning sort of the storefront or the sales process in order to be able to make sales. It can happen for us automatically through our website using technology online, which is awesome. We can also be open everywhere in the world. If we have a retail store or a location, then we're sort of limited to that location. If people don't live where we are, even if there might be customers across the country or across the world, unless they're going to come and visit us, we have no way to be able to make sales to them. With the online world, of course, we can, and that makes it really easy. And another thing is the cost of online sales in general is a lot lower, because the beautiful thing about it is technology handles the whole thing. And while we might pay a small percentage to whatever our software app or payment processor is, we can make sales online. We don't need to pay a human being or a rent or anything else in order to have an operation where we can actually make sales to people. So those are some of the negatives and positives, but one of the biggest benefits from online sales is that we can use sales funnels. And using funnels can make double, triple, or even quadruple or more our sales and profits. And it's one of the things that's really unique to online sales, because it's very difficult to translate this into what we could do in an offline world. There are ways to sort of make it fit a little bit, but nothing is as effective in terms of the online sales process and the fact that it fits the funnel perfectly. So to start with, what is a sales funnel? Well, quite frankly, it looks just like a funnel, which is where the name comes from. So if you imagine a funnel, it's really wide at the top and it gets narrow as we go down. And the purpose of it is to sift things out or funnel things out. Well, in the sales process, it works exactly the same way. The theory of a sales funnel is that at the very top, we're going to get the maximum number of customers into the funnel. That's the wide part of the funnel. And so what we want to do is we want to make that top part of the funnel really, really low cost, really easy for people to engage. And as they move down the funnel, we can get more aggressive with pricing, offers, and things like that. So that way, we're getting fewer and fewer sales, but they're higher and higher ticket and they're worth a lot more to us. So the idea of a sales funnel is just to offer somebody something up front, which is just the start of the funnel, and then make them successive multiple offers throughout the sales funnel. Now we compare that to the way that traditional sales work. If I go into a store or whatever and I'm shopping around, I might buy a jacket. Well, if I get to the checkout counter, they might ask me if I want to buy the warranty on it, or they might say, did you want, an umbrella or whatever. They might have some sort of somewhat sophisticated sales process where they offer me sort of a cross-sell or an upsell or something like that. Did you know those jackets are on sale? You get 2 of them, you get a discount, whatever. But that's really as far as it goes, and that's not even happening in a lot of places or for a lot of things. And even online, if you think of most e-com stores, right? When you go to an e-com store to buy something, oftentimes you put what you want in the cart and then you check out. And at most, it might say at the bottom, hey, other people that bought what you're buying are buying these things too, which is good because it's making a recommendation on things that are likely to make additional sales for them. So it makes a lot of sense. But it pales in comparison to an actual sales funnel where the person sees an offer, and then when they buy that offer at low cost, low commitment, they see another offer, and then another offer, another offer, successively right in a row. Because what we can do in that case is instead of making one little extra sale for an extra $10 or an extra whatever small percentage, we can actually make 3 to 4 times more sales, profit, and revenue from the funnel than we do from the very first sale. So imagine doubling, tripling, quadrupling your sales numbers if you aren't currently using a sales funnel, or if you're using one and you're not using it right. Because if you aren't making at least 2 to 3 times what you make on your initial sales, chances are there are some optimizations and tweaks to your funnel that can be made that will drastically and dramatically increase your sales and profits. So we can even, the other benefit of sales funnels, and this is really important too because it's sort of a larger benefit, but the fact is anything we can do that absolutely improves our sales profits per customer allows us to also even unlock more expensive promotion methods. So if we think, for example, let's say that we have an online store and we're selling our widgets for $37 and $67 and $97 or whatever. So we're using various promotion methods. Maybe we're using a little bit of Google text ads, or maybe we're doing some SEO, or we're running some ads here and there. We're doing various other promotions and email marketing, swaps and stuff like that. But we aren't really able to unlock real, higher power ads like maybe Facebook ads or Instagram ads or things where they cost more, because of the fact that we aren't making enough profit. Well, the fact is when we convert that to a sales funnel, what happens is if now instead of making 37, 67, 97, our average sale is going to 137, 177, 297. Now we're making so much more money on the average sale that we're able to unlock these other expensive promotion methods that we weren't able to afford before because we weren't making enough profit. So it's important to understand the sheer power of the sales funnel and its ability, if we can multiply our sales, what that actually does to our entire business in terms of its potential for various marketing methods. Now, we could pay for ads. We could pay somebody to do our SEO for us and optimize our website. We could pay for social media marketers to do their thing. We could pay influencers to run ads for us and promotions because we're making so much more per sale. And by the way, just so you know, from a realistic actual case study standpoint, the software ClickFunnels, which is basically a website builder, but it's really a funnel builder that was founded, built their entire business to the level that it's at using sales funnels. They tried a number of them. They didn't all work, so they were struggling to grow and scale. As soon as they found the right funnel, it multiplied the profits so significantly that they were able to scale without any outside financing and built it to a $200 million company. So sales funnels are real, sales funnels are legit, and they can be used for just about any business if you're doing online or digital promotion and online sales. And so it allows us to do all of that. And that's why this is tailor-made for digital and online sales. Because the fact of the matter is, it's going to be difficult if somebody comes up to you at the counter in your store and to buy something and you say, okay, here it is, $27, thank you. Hey, before you leave the store, I want to show you this too. And, this one's only $47 and you can buy this and you're going to get this, this, and this. You might be able to do that once. But after they say, okay, you know what, I'll buy that too. Okay, now before you go and use your products, let me show you this too. People are going to get annoyed and they're going to storm out of the store. It doesn't really work in that context. But in the digital marketing world, it works really, really well because the structure we use is that when someone makes the initial sale and purchase, instead of taking them to the members area and then trying to sell them more, when all they want to do is use the product, we show them the second offer instantly. And we make it so it's now or never. This is your one chance. You either have to click yes or no. We force them to make a decision, and it's instantaneous right after they've made a sale. Studies have shown statistically over and over and over again, while it seems to defy sort of logic, that the number one best time to make additional sales to somebody is right after they've made a purchase. Not a day later, not an hour later, not a week later. The percentage of repeat sales go down the further away we get from the initial sale. When we offer people initial sale, immediately another sale offer, the statistics are really, really high in terms of the way they work. I'm going to share a case study with you. So I actually just launched a product very recently, like a week ago. And I can tell you that the funnel itself made double what the main offer made. So let's just say, for example, the main offer made, $25,000. The upsells alone, the funnel, not the front end offer, but the funnel itself made an additional $50,000. So it's 3 times the amount of sales, 3 times the amount of profit by offering a funnel than if it was just a front end product. So the fact of the matter is, it flat out works. And to give you a sense of conversion rates, so we know, what does it look like when we had conversion rates on the first upsell. So somebody makes a purchase for a $27 piece of software. Before they hit the members area, they see a page that says, hey, here's another offer. That offer, the first offer, converted at 40%. So 40% of the people that bought the initial product bought the first upsell. The next upsell, the second upsell, converted at 35%. So 35% of the people that bought the first upsell bought the second upsell. The upsell after that converted at 50%. So 1 out of every 2 people that saw that third offer bought it. And the fourth offer, we did this for 6 different offers. We had 6 upsells. And the 5th and 6th upsells were selling at 100%. So whatever number of people bought the 5th upsell, all of them also bought the 6th upsell. That's how powerful this can be. And it's why you can scale your growth, you can scale and grow your sales, profits, and revenue that fast using funnels. So how exactly do we do this then, right? So how do we set up a sales funnel so we can use it in our own business so it makes sense and it actually works? Because, by the way, that's one case study I'm sharing with you. But over the last 10 years, we've used sales funnels to generate millions of dollars in sales. Millions. So these are people that already bought. They bought the initial thing. And then just on all the upsells that they were offered after, it made millions of dollars in sales. That's how powerful this is. And that's what a game changer it can be. It can completely revolutionize your business if you do it right. So here's how to do it. First thing we want to do is we want to take our offer and we want to break it into logical stages. So if we have a big ticket product, we can use what we already have and break it up into logical stages and make it into a funnel. So, we have a $300, course or whatever. Well, maybe we're going to give them, the first few modules as the main offer, and then we're going to have upsells for these other ones. And I'll explain how to break it up in a minute. But we want to break this into logical stages. Now, If we only have the front end product, well, I only have a $27 ebook, that's fine. But what it means is that we need to make the upsells. So if we have an ebook, then we want to offer an audio and a video version of the product, or we want to offer some additional things. The key to it is the logical stages. So what that means is it isn't just a matter of, hey, I bought a $27 ebook on gardening. Let's see, I got to make a funnel. So now I'll offer them a $47 ebook on motorcycle repair. It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic there. One or two people might buy it if they happen to be gardeners that like to ride motorcycles, but the fact is, there's no logical synergy there. So what we want is we want things that make sense. So for example, we did a cloud storage solution. So the main offer allowed people to use unlimited, or a group of cloud storage. They could upload a certain size file and they could do a certain amount of storage. The first upsell immediately was the ability to go unlimited. So now you have unlimited storage, and we also upped the limit on each given file that you could offer. The next upsell was enhanced 256-bit security and encryption for all of that storage. So now you're getting storage, you're getting unlimited storage, and so anybody who wanted storage likely is going to want unlimited storage. Then if you want unlimited storage, you're likely going to want that storage to be totally encrypted and secure. Then the next stage was social sharing, the ability to share links, the ability to make expiring links, the ability to do that also makes logical sense, because if I have all of my content in cloud storage, I then want to be able to share it. The level after that is an agency license, where you can actually take the product and sell it to other people and generate profit for yourself by selling the same services you just bought. And on and on and on. There's a white label version. So the point is, you can see how that logically makes sense. The things that were offered at the very beginning, each one is a compelling offer that the person is going to want. They don't realize it up front, but they do realize it when they see the other offers, that it makes a lot of sense. And so we need to think about how we can take our product, if it's big already, and break it into pieces, or if it's little, what stuff that we can logically add on. So we ask ourselves, what logically would the person want? What else would they want if they bought this in addition to that? So if I'm selling an ebook on organic gardening, maybe I make a tutorial video series as the first upsell. And then maybe I make a discount kit for an organic gardening pot and soil and stuff that I sell them, or whatever else. And maybe some keys to how to grow specific like fruits and vegetables in your garden. All these other things are all things that would make logical sense to somebody who wants that. The gardening tools that they're going to need, or whatever. A forum that you can use where people can share ideas about organic gardening. All these are value adds that can be increase the value that people will pay extra money for. The second step we want to do is we want to make sure that that front end product that we make at the top of the funnel needs to be a viable product by itself. This is key. This is not about stripping all the features out of our product, so when they buy it, it's a bait and switch, and in order to get any value, they need to upgrade. That's not only not ethical, but it's going to run you into problems. People are going to get very angry. The front end product needs to be viable in and of itself. We offered cloud storage. The cloud storage works. You can use it, right? You can use it up to the limit, and you can upload files up to the limit. So it absolutely works by itself. There's no need to buy anything else if you don't want to. So that is key. The front end product does need to be viable by itself, and we want to keep the price really low. The idea is to get as many people into that funnel as we can. If the front end price is too high, the problem is it discourages enough people from buying it, so they never get to the rest of the funnel. No one ever sees the rest of our funnel if they don't buy the initial offer. So we want to get those people in. And by the way, the other benefit, and we didn't even talk about this, is the more people you get into the funnel, the more customers you have on your list. You can mail them, email marketing, you can do other follow-up offers. You have all these opportunities to sell everything that you want. So if you price your front-end product at say 27, or with a funnel, or you priced it at 97 by itself or 197, The 197 product might make you more profit per sale, but let's say you convert 1%. Well, every 100 visitors, you're going to make one sale. If the $27 funnel converts at 5%, you might have made less money on the front end, but now you have 5 customers for every 1 you're getting over here. So every successive offer you have, every email marketing message you send out goes to 5 times more people with the option and ability to make you 5 times more sales. The third step is to make sure that each upsell is a logical extension of the main offer with variable and increasing prices. So what this means is, again, with the cloud storage, we explained how we went to unlimited, and then we went to encryption and security, and then we went to sharing. They all have to be logical extensions. It's not, okay, you bought organic gardening, here's motorcycle repair. It doesn't make any sense. People aren't going to buy it. So sometimes this takes a little bit of thought to really think it through and create our funnel in the best way possible. But it's super important because if we do this right, it's an absolute home run. And we can charge a lot more at these higher levels. So maybe our initial offer, like for our cloud storage, was $27. Well, the unlimited upgrade was $47. But then we had a $67 upgrade. We had a $97 upgrade, a $197 upgrade. The upgrades can actually scale up pretty high, and they can be variable. We can go up and then down. The first upsell is $47. The next one's $37. The next one's $67. The next one's $197. It doesn't matter. And the funnel is going to get narrower as it gets deeper. So the prices can go up. Fewer people are going to buy, but we're going to make more profit for each one. And then the fourth step is to bridge the buyers between the offers and send them instantly to the next one all the way through the funnel. This is key. We can't send them to a members area and then have them click on something to try to buy. What we need to do is instantly show them right after they purchased the next offer. And the way we do that is we do it with a bridge. So for example, with the cloud storage product, when they buy it, we don't want people to think their sale didn't go through. So when the sale processes, the next page they see will start off with congratulations and welcome to our cloud storage solution. You made a great decision buying this. Now, before you get to the members area, let me share with you something that'll take your experience to a whole nother level. Boom, make the offer, right? Then when they buy that one, hey, you're almost there. While the team sets up your account, I have one more thing I want to share with you. Same thing, they have to say yes or no, and whether they say yes or no, they go to the next offer. Hey, just one last thing. I know you're anxious to get started. Just one last thing before we get to the members area. And you can do this with bridges over and over and over again, right? And that way they acknowledge the fact that they're moving through the funnel because we're saying that we recognize they're on the next page. They don't think they're stuck in a loop, but at the same time, we're buying the chance to be able to offer them something else. And they can say no if they want. When they click no, it goes to the next offer. But it's key that it goes instantly. And then the fifth and last step is to test the depth of our funnel, prices, offers, and optimize that funnel value so it works, right? And maximizes what we can make. So by test the depth, initially when people started using sales funnels, they were worried people would get annoyed. So they only did 1 upsell or 2 upsells. Well, now we're at the point where, depending on the market, and you do have to test this, in the software space, you can offer 5 and 6 upsells. And 1 or 2 people might get annoyed, but the vast majority of people love it. They'll go through the funnel, they'll be excited about it, and they'll buy various offers. They might buy the first upsell, the third one, the fifth one. They might buy them all. They might not buy any, but some of them are going to buy different ones. You can change the prices. Look at your conversion rates and lower and raise the prices based on what you think you can get. So you want to shoot for at least 25% and up to 40 to 50% conversion rate on each level of the funnel. And we want to optimize that so we max out our funnel value, because when we do that, we unlock all of these different promotion methods regardless of their costs. If our average customer costs us X amount of dollars and makes us $5, we can't spend more than $5 in any promotion method to get a new customer, right? If we can increase the value that the customer makes us to $25, we could now spend up to $25 for any promotion method that gets us a customer. That's really, really powerful. And the process works like magic when it's done right. So the takeaway here is that sales funnels have a lot of benefits in digital marketing and online sales. They enable us to convert the maximum number of prospects into buyers by starting at a low price point and low commitment. They also help us maximize our revenue and profit by offering every customer multiple chances to spend more with us. A third benefit is they allow us to test and optimize every part of our offer so we know what's most and least valuable to our customers. Finally, they make it easy to expand our offers and try new offer elements by just adding a step in the funnel. Sales funnels have the potential to double, triple, or even quadruple or more our sales if we use them right.